De'Aaron Fox trade, Spurs land All-Star, Zach LaVine goes from Bulls to Kings in multi-team deal. Per report, the Sacramento Kings are finalizing a trade that will send De'Aaron Fox to the San Antonio Spurs in a multi-team deal, with Zach LaVine moving from the Chicago Bulls to Sacramento, ESPN reported. Spurs receive a Fox, Jordan McLaughlin. Kings receive *** LaVine, City Sissoko, 3 first-round picks, 2025 from Charlotte, 2027 from Spurs, 2031 from Timberwolves. Bulls receive Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and their own 2025 first-round pick from the Spurs. Fox's availability came into question ahead of the trade deadline due to concerns about his future in Sacramento. The issues began in October when Fox turned down a 3-year, $165 million extension, signaling he was looking for a more lucrative deal. Tension mounted in late December after Fox's agent, Rich Paul, met with Sacramento's front office to discuss the team's long-term direction. Shortly after, the Kings fired head coach Mike Brown, which raised more questions about Fox's future, although he denied any connection to the firing. Despite these uncertainties, Fox's trade to the Spurs is not the result of a direct trade request but rather Sacramento's unease about losing their star guard for nothing. Now, just days before the trade deadline, Fox heads to San Antonio, his preferred destination, marking the end of his 7.5 years in Sacramento. During his time with the Kings, Fox led them to their first playoff appearance in 17 years in 2022-23, breaking the longest playoff drought in the NBA and across all major American sports. He ranks in the top 10 for points, assists, and steals in Kings history. Fox will now pair with the Spurs' exciting young core, especially reigning Rookie of the Year Victor Wembanyama. His skill set makes him an ideal fit to complement Wembanyama's game, improving San Antonio's starting lineup. Importantly, the Spurs didn't have to part with any of their young talent or valuable draft assets, leaving them with the flexibility to pursue another star in the future. On the other hand, the Kings have received 3 first-round picks in the deal. While the 2027 pick from the Spurs holds little value, likely landing in the late first round due to San Antonio's competitiveness, the 2025 Charlotte pick is lottery protected this year, and if not conveyed, will turn into 2 second-round picks in 2026 and 2027. The most valuable asset for Sacramento is the unprotected 2031 first-round pick from Minnesota, which could turn out to be a high pick depending on the Timberwolves' performance. Sacramento is also acquiring Zach LaVine, a dynamic scorer who will team up with Domantas Sabonis and DeMar DeRozan. The Kings hope their LaVine-DeRozan pairing will prove more successful than it did in Chicago over the past few seasons. As for the Bulls, they offload LaVine's hefty contract after a year of trade talks, which is a relief for the franchise. They also regain their 2025 first-round pick from the Spurs, a pick they had traded away in the deal that brought DeRozan to Chicago. This is a significant relief, as the pick had been top 10 protected and the Bulls have been hovering near that threshold this season. With LaVine gone, the Bulls may now look to move Nikola Vucevic to wrap up this chapter of their rebuilding process.